Good morning, everyone. I'd like to open the special meeting at 11:05 and thank you all for your attendance. I have Councillor John Burkett online and Councillor Jane Vincent. And if someone could move a leave of absence for Councillor Flynn. Councillor Davis.
I move that apologies be received and a leave of absence granted for Councillor Flynn for this meeting.
Seconded by Councillor Brompton. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
8-0. Moving on to agenda item 3.1. Regulated air service route into Roma, community feedback and submission to the Department of Transport and Main Roads. Councillor O'Neill.
I would like to move that Council 1 receive and note the results of the community survey undertaken in February 2026 regarding passenger air services operating into and out of Roma Airport. 2, authorise the Chief Executive Officer or Delegate to prepare and submit a formal response to the Department of Transport and Main Roads as part of the State Government's consultation on regulated regional air services, with the submission advocating for the following strategic outcomes: retention of regulated air service for the Roma-Brisbane route, change here, Kel, implementation of a state government-initiated resident airfare scheme as part of the future contract arrangements, reducing the need for individual councils to negotiate resident fare schemes directly with airlines. Recognition that the Roma Airport represents a strategic aviation asset for the state, with infrastructure capable of accommodating larger regional aircraft such as de Havilland Canada-8400, improve affordability, reliability and connectivity for passengers travelling to and from Roma, flight frequency and scheduling that improves opportunities for same-day travel, particularly for business travel and medical appointments, a service provider capable of providing greater seating capacity, improved baggage allowances and stronger connectivity into broader regional, national and international aviation networks, a service provider to support the movement of freight in addition to passenger services, recognising the importance of regional aviation for time-sensitive freight movements, a service provider with the ability to supplement baseline services with additional flights during peak periods, including major regional events or seasonal tourism demand and potential connections to key regional tourism destinations, for example, Longreach, during tourist season where viable.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hancock, has anyone got any questions?
Yes, I do.
When you're ready, Councillor Vincent.
Just in the motion put forward, there is no comments around the Toowoomba for medical appointments. Was there any capability of putting that in that last point there around it's only tourism mentioned down there? Is there any ability to put something in there around the medical appointments in Toowoomba?
Yeah.
Or Burling?
Yeah, happy to include an additional dot point, and this will be the wrong words, Kel, but we'll give it a go. The submission include options into the future regulated air service to include Toowoomba as a destination to address the needs of the community, including broader commerce, education, and for medical reasons.
And health.
Oh, and health reasons. Health and medical reasons.
Yeah.
To include Toowoomba as an option, as a destination.
Do we need that first bit? Can we just say the submission include Toowoomba as an option as a destination?
Yeah.
So we can get rid of include options into the future regulated air service? Because that's what we're talking about, aren't we?
It is, yeah. So
just-
won't, and Kel, I get what Jane's raised, and it's a good point. Toowoomba as a port, not as a destination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Submission to include Toowoomba.
So would you just say to include, not the
Yeah,
submission?
you don't need submission because it's the heading at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, include Toowoomba as an option as a port to address the community.
Including for broader needs of the community. For broader commerce, education, health and medical reasons.
Yeah.
And do we need to clearly say it's not the only option, as in we don't want every flight going via Toowoomba?
No, that's why I added port.
Yes. But then you don't still want necessarily every flight to stop at Toowoomba on the route, because that was clear people didn't want.
Include Toowoomba as an option into the as a port into the broader mix of considerations as to the future of our regulated air service. Of the regulated air service.
Aren't we talking about that already?
No, I know that, but it needs to be clear.
Yes.
I get what Councillor Brumpton's raised.
Yeah, it is. We do have that first line, retention of regulated air service for the Roma to Brisbane route as well, to confirm that that's
Yeah.
What
forefront.
what I was wanting to be sure, Jane, Councillor Vincent, was that not every flight to Brisbane stopped via Toowoomba, because I think
Oh yes,
the
totally agree.
community
Yep.
didn't want that.
Is it to address the needs of the community, to give them options?
We've got an option of a port.
Oh, yeah, I know. So options, not, we need to find another word for options, but to give them choice.
Can we use the word similar to the one directly above it? A service provider with the ability to supplement baseline services with a broader mix of flights.
That include the option of, yeah.
That include the option of Toowoomba as a port.
Yep. To support
To
the
support
broader
the needs of the community, including for broader commerce, education, health and medical reasons.
Yep.
Would you say Maranoa community, or I know we're talking about Maranoa, but to make it specifically clear, that we're not, aiming to support the Toowoomba community at all?
Does the Deputy CEO have anything? Yes, Ken?
Support the needs of them. I think it's
I think
implied
it is
though.
about,
I think
it's
it-
our community.
I know, but
Yeah.
we're being really specific,
Needs of the,
explicit.
Deputy CEO, do you want to come in on this one?
Yeah, through the mayor. Probably the wording is fine. Probably just from an officer's point of view, we've obviously prepared the submission and the intent. The way I understand this is just to make sure I'm clear on it as well. Would be this is very similar to the dot point above, where this is services over and above the baseline offering, but would pull into Toowoomba simply as a port, not a final destination, and that's.
Well, that's how I've interpreted what has been shared by the community and what Councillor Vincent has raised here today. Yep. So I'm happy to. Are you happy with that, Councillor Vincent?
Yes, I am very happy with that. Thank you.
I'm happy to include that as part of the resolution.
Who was seconded? Councillor Hancock, did you second it?
yes.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, and we've just got two ands, education and health and medical reasons.
Education,
Comma.
health and medical.
Is health and medical reasons the same?
Yes and no.
Okay. All good.
All good? Does anybody else have any questions? No? Would you like to speak to it, councillor?
Thanks very much, Mayor. First and foremost, I want to thank the broader community for the responses that they provided into this survey. 649 responses, or I think it was 649. It was 649 responses, which into my mind is the largest responses to any survey since I've been on council, which tells me that this is a incredibly important issue for our community. One that isn't ours to make a decision on, but is one for us to influence government and advocate to government to get the right outcome for our community. We all know in this room that there have been many conversations with concerned residents, interested residents over the last 2 years since this term of council. It dates back further than that for Councillor Taylor and Hancock and Councillor Burkett and myself. There were concerns raised in the previous term in respect to the regulated air service and the impact of the changes of having a different service provider and all that came with that. Given that the state has inherited the regulated route in terms of the new government and the advocacy that we put in very early on, that we wanted to have a say and to be at the table, I am thrilled that the government has supported that advocacy and has not only opened the door for local governments across the state to be at the table to have their input, it was thrown to the broader community as well, which was the right decision. And we've seen both of the consultations that have occurred here run by the state very well attended, with some clear messages delivered by the people that attended. But of course, we took it upon ourselves to go back to the community to survey our residents to back in the anecdotal responses that we were getting on a regular basis from conversations with our community. That is now backed up in this survey, and the results are very, very clear that our community wants an affordable, reliable, connected airline that has the capacity to service our community from 2026, end of 2026 onwards. And we would be doing a disservice to our community if we didn't put a very strong submission into government to raise these issues. Of course, we've had an early opportunity, given the timing of the closure of the survey a couple of weeks ago, to meet with the Minister for Transport only days later. And so we gave Minister Mickelberg a taste of the initial findings that we'd seen come through our survey, and that this submission now will only strengthen those conversations that we had with the Minister, and of course will go to the remaining decision makers as they ponder as to what to do next in terms of the regulated air service. I might add, as I'm talking, Mayor, one additional point that we should include in the resolution is Council's, I hope, continued view, if this resolution is supported, that we call on the government to go to tender at the earliest possible opportunity in respect to the regulated air service. That is, if we can have that as a dot point, please, Kel. And Mayor, if you want to deal with the addition of that mid-speech, I'm happy for you to.
Are you happy with that, Councillor Hancock?
Yes, I think it's a really important point.
So it is an important point, given that the regulated air service contract is due to finish at the end of this year, subject to two one-by-one extensions that the state may explore, but certainly given the feedback that we've had from our community and a very strong position that they would like to see change and to get a better deal to make sure it is an affordable, reliable, connected and an airline that has the capacity to be able to service our community, we'd be doing them a disservice if we didn't advocate that they must go to tender at the earliest possible opportunity. And I just don't think it will land very well with the Maranoa community to see an extension beyond the end of this year. So I want to thank the staff in the work that they did to support council in their desire to get the feedback from the community on this issue, and I acknowledge the work that our Deputy CEO and CEO did in the background in the lead up to that survey, and of course the collation of those findings of which the Mayor and I presented to the ministers I've already spoke about. And of course now the broader submission will be pulled together if this is supported today, and I acknowledge the support that the staff have provided to raise what again is an important issue, one that isn't our decision to make, but one that we have to be at the table to influence.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Councillor Hancock.
Madam Mayor, I don't have too much to add to it, but I do want to just thank the community for taking the time to do the surveys. The responses have been fantastic, and I just want to thank them because it gives us the data that we need to be able to advocate on their behalf. And so just want to acknowledge that. It makes our job easier because we're trying to advocate on their behalf and support them on such an important issue for our community.
Anyone else like to speak?
Can I just clarification, Councillor O'Neill, just that call on government, did you want to specify state government? Or are you happy with the wording?
No, thanks, CEO. I mean, it's implied, but I understand call on the Queensland State Government. Yeah.
Because the federal they have a role to play in it, but I knew where you were going with it. So.
I just ask, do we call on or do we request?
Call.
Isn't it a request from our community that the state government?
I mean, it goes both ways.
Okay.
I'm happy to change it to a request if.
I'll take your lead on it, Councillor Neal.
Yeah, no, request is fine.
Do you just want to read that third one again then, Councillor?
Yes, so the addition is to the broader resolution, request the Queensland State Government to go to tender at the earliest opportunity to secure the regulated air service for the Maranoa community.
Okay. Can I ask a question on that, Madam Mayor, just while we read it out? Are we requesting the government to go to tender at the earliest opportunity, or are we requesting the government to go to tender at the earliest opportunity and not to extend? Because the earliest opportunity, well, that.
Yeah, request the Queensland State Government to not extend the regulated air service and to go to tender at the earliest opportunity. Yep.
And to go to tender and go to tender. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah.
To not exercise the option to extend? Is that what you're... Councillor O'Neill, to not exercise the option to extend?
What's the same thing though, isn't it?
To not. It'll be fine if you
Request the Queensland State Government.
Well, you're not
to
saying
the regulated air service.
you're not talking about a contract or anything there.
No,
yeah.
Air service contract. Go to tender the earliest opportunity.
We're right.
We got it in the end.
Does anyone else want to speak? I too would just like to say that I'll be voting for this motion. It's been a long road, this one, and every time we get a minister's ear, no matter what their job description is or their portfolio, we've brought this up time and time again, so they honestly do know what the Maranoa want. And that was our message, was to get that out there, what our community wants. And through the survey, we were on target there, knowing what our community wants. So just pleased to see this go this next step, and hopefully we'll get a good outcome for our community, because I really feel we've worked hard. So thank you all for that. Okay, would you like to sum up, councillor?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I mean, the long and the short of it for me is that we just need a better deal for our community. That's a better deal in terms of a service provider that can address all those priorities that have come through, but it's also we need a better deal from a Maranoa Regional Council perspective for our community in respect to the regulated air service, because we are still held the agreement that the former council went into with the current provider is still in place, and that is in place until the end of this year. And post that, we just need a better deal all round for our community. And again, I stress on the point that we've got a government that is willing to listen to us, have been listening to us, as the Mayor alluded to, at any and every opportunity that has been before her or myself. We have advocated that we just want a better deal for the Maranoa community. And the results of this survey illustrate loud and clear that the community back that. The last 5 years have been a long 5 years. It's been a significant change in practice for our community in respect to their ability to fly in and out. And going forward, we deserve, as a region, a service that is utilised by our community, that is an affordable service for our community, and one they want to use again. The results of this survey suggest it's anything but that at the moment. I think the findings coupled with our positions that we're forming today will be a very strong indication to the government what we need, and our role now is to ensure that they listen to it, and we do get that better deal for our community.
Thank you. Councillor Hancock?
I appreciate that Councillor Neal's had the last say. I just have a quick question. Just wondering, do we, because we've had such great pick up from our community with this survey, would it be appropriate I know we're in an open report now, so I know that they can find these findings, but should we publish these findings to report? Sometimes we get people do surveys, but we don't ever report back to them and let them know what the survey results were, like that's in this open report. Would that be appropriate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be council's intention, but we'll show you before we put up. But the intention on our website there to promote it. I know there's probably been a bit of interest and a few queries, a few questions about it in recent weeks there as well from the media as well. So.
I don't know if we need to add anything to resolution, but I mean the sentiment's pretty clear that we're releasing this. The submission that goes to government needs to be on the website as well, ultimately. Point well made.
Yeah. And put something up, put it all up, whatever.
I was thinking it'd be really nice for everyone to hear
I agree.
Yeah.
together.
All right, so everyone's spoken, so we'll go to the vote. All those in favour?
Yes.
Yes.
8-0. On that note, I'll close. Nobody's got anything else for the special meeting? I can't, because it's a special meeting. So we'll close the meeting at 11:29, and thank you all for your attendance.